Hi, my name is Amanda, and I am a warrior because I am a survivor of one of my loved ones to suicide. In September of 2014, I lost my husband to suicide. His name was Phil. He was my everything, my entire life. He was my best friend. We had been married a little over 22 years. We had grown up together, basically. We got married really young and just grew up together. So he knew everything about me. He was the best daddy to our 4 boys that we have together. He just adored his family and especially adored his 4 boys so much. He was beyond generous, a very generous and very kind person. He was giving, he was loving. To know Phil was to love Phil. Anybody that knew him felt important, felt like they mattered. And he was the life of any party. Anytime we had a party, he was just fun. And he had a contagious laugh that you could hear in a crowd. Like, you could always pick out Phil's laugh. He was just fun. So in September of 2014, like I said, it's been almost 4 years that he took his life. This was a huge shock to everyone because nobody would have ever thought Phil would have taken his life. He seemed happy. He seemed just like he was fine. Nobody ever would have guessed, not even me, his wife. So as you can imagine, much shock, a lot of feelings are involved when you survive after losing somebody so close to you to suicide. There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of, there's even anger that person left you, or you feel abandoned. But you know, the first few months were very excruciating. Sometimes I look back and I really don't know how I got through. I literally felt like my heart was going to break in two. So when people talk about dying of a broken heart, that's something I can relate to. I felt very heartbroken. My heart literally hurt in my body. It was something that I can't even explain. I didn't know how I was going to go on without him. I really didn't know how I was going to do it. But the reason that I went on and did it was because of my 4 amazing boys. The boys that we have together, and I knew that they had lost their dad. They couldn't also lose their mother. This is a picture of my husband, Phil. So the thing that got me out of bed every morning, the thing that got me going from day to day, sometimes from minute to minute, were my boys, my 4 boys. They were my strength. They kept me going. And I knew at that point I had to choose to be the best mom I could be to them. So, and I didn't have a choice, really. Like I said, my kids had lost their father. They needed me to be a mother. And I had to do whatever I had to do, whatever I could do for them. And I did. I also chose to do as much as I could to spread awareness about this critical topic of suicide that nobody wants to really talk about, that still has a huge stigma around it. I believe that things are changing in the right direction, and we're getting better about talking about suicide and about depression and anxiety and the things that people go through, and that it's a real illness. But I still think it is something that is hard for people to talk to, but is so very important for us to talk about. And I'm glad that things are going more that direction, and that we are learning more about what people suffer with, so that we can find out better ways of helping them. I'm grateful now, it's been almost 4 years, like I said, that I have been refined through this experience. It's made me into a stronger person, a more compassionate person, because of this experience. Although this is not how I would have chosen to learn these things and to grow, I am thankful that my experience, the pain that I've endured, and that the lessons I've learned through this experience, the things that I have been taught. One of the big things I have been taught is that no one is immune to depression. People can look totally fine on the outside and can put on a really good show. And we never know what's going on inside of somebody and how much they're hurting. It's taught me to be a lot more compassionate, a lot more understanding of things that people go through, and to be a lot more caring and to be aware of people and people's needs. And now that I feel like I have survived this, I still have my hard times. My children and I will always have tough times throughout the rest of our life because of this. But we have not only survived, but I feel like we are thriving. We are moving forward. We're not moving on, because we will never move on and forget Phil and forget their father. But we move forward every day with faith and the knowledge that we will see him again. And we are grateful for the things that it has taught us. And so I can honestly say that I am thriving now. My kids are doing amazing. I have remarried. I found a wonderful man to spend the rest of my life with, and I'm so grateful for that. And I appreciate this opportunity to share my experience with you. Thanks.